During your life, you're going to lose someone special to you that's going to cause pain and suffering. Everyone in this world will go through bereavement at some point in time.
My definition of bereavement, that is working through the process of losing a loved one.
Everyone has their own way of dealing with death, some positive and some negative. Trevor Richardson goes on to explain what some of those examples are.
A lot of different ways, some healthy, some unhealthy. And so the healthy ones are going to be finding people that they trust, that they love, that are going to be there for support and being able to lean on and being able to communicate what's going on. So talking about when it's bad, just being open and honest about, hey, yeah, it hurts a lot right now and I don't know what to do and I don't know how to do it, and just allowing people to be there for them.
The biggest loss for me was the death of my father. I was 17 and he had a massive heart attack. It was 1955, long before CPR and emergency care. And he suddenly got really sick and he collapsed and I saw him die. And I couldn't believe it, this man that I loved so much. I still miss him. And he died in 1955, which is a very long time ago.
In the attempt to cope, Anne tried to talk to her friends about her father's passing, but instead of listening to her, they grieved with her because they were close to him as well.
I don't know if I really coped. I was forced into a situation.
Anne attended a Catholic school and was told to go to the rectory to visit Father Casey and talk to him about her father's death. It helped her a lot to be able to talk to someone and have them listen to her.
And he sat down with me and he said, "How are you doing, Anne?" And this was like in May. My dad had died in February. And I said, "I'm doing okay." And he said, "Okay, now you really tell me how you're feeling." And that was wonderful, because I must have spent 3 hours with him just talking about all that I was going through. And I will never forget that.
Talking to Father Casey that day really impacted her and made her want to become a counselor herself.
And that, I think, was one of the bases for me to want to go into counseling later on in my life. I just thought that's such an important position to have, to be that caring. And so I don't know. I think just by going day by day, step by step, I think that's how I coped.
Phyllis Martin has a bit of a different story. Instead of coping with the loss of a father, she dealt with the loss of her husband.
I'd say it took me 5 years to really get back to normal. Well, I really didn't expect my husband to die 2 weeks before retirement, so it was really unexpected. I just was shocked, overwhelmed, in denial, so angry and full rage for so long.
Phyllis was in search to find something to help her cope with her husband's death.
Well, the funeral home offered group counseling for grief, and they had a therapist there. We went for 6 weeks, 1 day each week, but they did give us a lot of paperwork that showed the different stages we'd have to go through till we finally got to the end where we accepted it. So that did help that way.
Our last example of positive coping is a very powerful one of how a girl used a sport not only to help her get over the loss of her dad at a very young age, but also the loss of her grandma at a much older age.
I'm very proud of who I've become because of skating. I wouldn't be the same without it. I have a passion for it, and it's just what I love.
She started in skating in January, and I was trying to get her in stuff because just in March of that year, my husband passed away and she was 5, and so I needed to get her into something, and she took right to it.
My dad passed away whenever I was 5, and Arctic Edge, this ice rink, was built about the same year that he passed away. And I got my first pair of ice skates from Santa Claus, and my mom took me out skating, and I loved it.
We just did it for a lark, and thought it was fun. I had no idea it would turn into this.
Even though Melissa didn't have her dad in this world for very long, she knew she had a strong relationship with him.
I was really young when he passed away, but we had a very good relationship. He was an amazing father, always there, and it was hard. And being young, it's more difficult to understand, obviously a passing of a parent or anyone at that matter. But I handled it very, very well. My mom was a very good role model in that. Along with my grandma, she was there for me as well.
At age 18, Melissa lost her grandmother, but skating was there every day to help her cope.
That one was a little bit harder because obviously, being 18 when she passed, I got to know her and she was a second parent to me. And the 4 years that we had with her, she was in and out of a nursing home. We had to take care of her, but we were there every day going to see her. It was hard, but skating was there and it helped me get through it as well.
Figure skating has helped Melissa get through the toughest times in her life. It has truly helped shape her into the woman she is today.
It's definitely been an amazing coping mechanism for that because it's my escape and I can go there to enjoy my life and to just get away from everything.
She started skating in January and then Disney on Ice came in September. Well, Pocahontas and John Smith came to the rink. She skated with them and all that. And so from then on, she goes, I'm going to be a professional ice skater. I'm going to skate with Disney on Ice. And I'm going, yeah, right. How's that ever going to happen? But I wasn't going to say, no, you can't do it.
Melissa is very proud of what she's accomplished in her skating career and what she has overcome throughout her life to get her to where she is today. We asked Melissa what accomplishment she is most proud of during her skating career.
My professional skating. I had a successful competition, while I was competing, but I'm definitely very proud of going and becoming a professional skater. It's very rare people actually get to do that. Professional skating is the people that do shows, not the ones that you see competing. They are, it's after your skating career, your competitive career, and then you move on, you actually get paid for it. So I work for Royal Caribbean. They're the only ice rink right now the only cruise line that have ice rink. We do shows. Depending on how long the cruise is, we'll do usually 2 shows in one day, and they're about 15-minute shows. Most cruises that I've done have usually been about 7 days. I've done some where they're 14 days, 13 days, 9 days, just erratic, and so it depends, but you usually do 2 shows in one day, and you'll either do 4 to 6 depending on the cruise and the size ship that you're working on.
Melissa has been able to travel the world thanks to professional figure skating.
This last contract I got to see Europe, so we did the Mediterranean. I went down all the way down to Morocco, so I got to go to Africa as well. And we did all of France, Spain, Portugal, Canary Islands, and then we came back and we did the Caribbean. I've pretty much done all the Caribbean. I've been to all the Caribbean islands.
Figure skating has taught Melissa a lot of life lessons, and she's very thankful for that. If she did not start skating, she wouldn't be where she is today. She is a true example that anyone can cope in a positive way.
I've learned a lot, work ethic, because going out there, it's not that you sit there and it's a very lonely sport, so everything's on you. You have to be the one to go out there and push yourself. You can't always have your coach or your parent sitting there pushing you and telling you to go. It has to come from within. And so it teaches you that work ethic. It teaches you how to, get up and to work for things when you fall, because you fall constantly in this sport. I mean, I still do today, and they're paying me to skate, and I still fall. And so you learn how to get up from things where I feel like there's other things in life that don't really teach you that, and you have to keep pushing yourself. Performing is amazing. So to be able to go out there and, for one, get paid to do what you absolutely love. I mean, it's not really a job at that point. You get to go out there, you perform, and you can see people enjoy what you do, and especially when you have people stand up at the end. I mean, you get that standing ovation and just go, I did that.